Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back with another Viking Orations. This time around, going to be talking to you about the fifth full-length album from, Uzumaki, and I probably totally butchered that band name, entitled Spoken in Tongues. Really killer artwork, really dig that logo. So, who is Uzumaki? This is a one-man death metal band based out of Mississippi that formed back in 2012, and as I said, this is his fifth full-length overall. It is 7 tracks long, clocking in at around 25 minutes and 21 seconds in length. If you look at the back of the CD, though, it only lists 5 tracks, but there's actually 7 on here. And the man behind this project, his real name is Jared Moran, but here he calls himself, and I'm going to totally butcher this, Jarnd Masidian. Like I said, I knew I was going to totally butcher that. But anyway, and he does pretty much everything here. All the instruments, all the vocals. And, Jared has actually been in a lot of bands. I was looking at his Metal Archives page, and he's got a ton of bands that he is in. Among the ones that I actually recognize, though, is Hollowed Idols, which is another killer death metal band, Morgue Walker, and he's also the drummer for Putrefying Cadaverment, and just like a shit ton of other bands. Now, overall, this is just a very dark sounding album to me. The atmosphere has this very dungeonous sound and vibe, and at times it feels very chaotic and very disjointed. Listen to track 3, Depiction of a Curiosity. That is a perfect example of how disjointed it can sound, but yet somehow it actually really works. The playing is really well executed on all of these instruments. He's obviously very good at what he does. And overall, the way this was mixed, there's no instrument that really overtakes one, because a lot of times, of course, my big thing is I love bass. And in this instance, the bass, there's fleeting moments where it is a little bit higher up in the mix, but overall, everything is just blended really well and just creates this cauldron of chaos that is just so interesting to listen to. At first, it takes you by surprise. You're just kind of like, I don't know, but then the more you listen to it, it's like, all right, this is some good shit. Now, vocal-wise, his vocals are just absolutely killer, I have to say. He does these real deep guttural growls mixed with some more decipherable, deeper growls, and then these vocals that I can only really call them demonic. I mean, you just have to hear it for yourself. He just sounds like a fucking demon. I mean, it's like something you would hear off of an EVP from somebody doing a ghost hunting, adventure. Now, the album ends with an untitled instrumental track. If you look it up, it's just called Instrumental. And compared to everything else, it strangely feels just a little bit darker than the rest of the album, which, everything that comes before this, you would think, is pretty dark, pretty heavy, but for some reason, this one just has this more dark vibe to it. I don't know. And it just kind of seems to me it'd be perfect for a horror film. It just, when I was listening to it, I was like, this would go great in a horror movie at just like a certain, really, I don't know, that really a scene. It's hard to describe. It really is. You just have to hear for yourself. Overall, this is a very enjoyable album, very good death metal. It doesn't break the mold or really do anything, out of the ordinary, I guess you could say. But if you're in the mood for some really dark and chaotic death metal, then right here, Uzumaki, Spoken in Tongues. Definitely check this one out. Solid 8 out of 10 album for me. So yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.